What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Shield Breaker EMPs because these could be getting unvaulted any day now or any moment now. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below if you would like Shield Breaker EMPs to return to the loot pool and if you would be using them. So with yesterday's update, we got the rocket ram and the business turret re-added to the loot pool, and you can find these items just by looting, but you can also find them in the black markets. One interesting thing, however, is that you can also find Shield Breaker EMP grenades in the black markets. I'll have a clip on screen now where I'm at the black market outside Masked Meadows, and you'll see here there's Shield Breaker EMP grenades on the wall. And when I purchase them, nothing happens. Fortnite takes my gold still, but I don't get any Shield Breaker EMP grenades. And this is not guaranteed to be here. This spot in the black market kind of cycles between different items. But either way, there's a chance to get these out of the, to potentially spawn in the black market. You just can't get them right now because they're not actually unvaulted. And I feel like this kind of signifies one of two things. Either they're coming later on, so like maybe next week they'll add Shield Breaker EMP grenades back to the loot pool, and then you'll be able to get them from looting and from the black markets. Or they intended to add them yesterday, and then for some reason just didn't actually unvault them. And I feel like if that second one is the case, they may just end up actually unvaulting them at any moment. Like when it comes to vaulting and unvaulting items in Fortnite for things that are already in the loot pool, Fortnite can do this whenever they want. There could be a random update tomorrow where they just vault any weapon for whatever reason. And this a lot of times will happen when there's like a bug or a glitch with something. They'll just like take it out of the loot pool. Or on off weeks when we don't have a major update, they often unvault old items and there's not actually like a download update for that, right? So we could see Shield Breaker EMPs come to the game any day now, any moment now. It's like I said, it's possible this is a bug and that like once Epic realizes that this problem is there, they unvault the EMPs and then you're getting them like normal. Or like I said, maybe it's something that's being saved for next week because the Star Wars season starts on May 2nd. And so that is next Friday. It's possible next Tuesday they unvault the Shield Breaker EMP grenades as the last like kind of like mini content drop of the season, and then we have those for a few days. I think one of those two things is definitely happening. They didn't just end up in the black market loot pool by random chance, and it was previously like leaked and rumored that we'd be getting Shield Breaker EMPs at some point this season anyways. And so them showing up isn't really that surprising. As far as these items, if I would use it, in the past, I really liked Shield Breaker EMP grenades. In Chapter 5, I was using them a lot. But a lot of that had to do with the prevalence of cars and the effectiveness of cars in like the Wrecked season, right? And in Wrecked, cars were a really big deal, so I pretty much always wanted to carry EMP grenades to shut them down. And then we also had the Nitro Fist, which was like a very good do-it-all mobility item. In the current loot pool, I feel like we don't really have that one do-it-all mobility item. Shockwaves are great, but I also enjoy having the rocket drill to avoid fall damage because that is a major factor in the game with how prevalent the bat is. And I've also, become accustomed to using the drill to kind of travel around in certain situations, and I really enjoy having that. So because of that, I don't really see myself using the EMPs when they get unvaulted in terms of like consistently carrying them and going out of my way to get them, like how I would in Chapter 5. If they added Nitro Fists and we had that as an option, I probably would, only run that as my mobility and then take the EMPs. But with how the loot pool currently is, I really like having double mobility, and I don't see myself wanting to give up one of my mobility items just to counter cars. While cars are still good, they're not as much of a factor as they were in Chapter 5 because there's no weapons and because there's less cars on the map now. If you guys remember, I think it was last season, they like, or maybe it was early this season, I don't remember which, but they like reduced the spawns of cars on the map. Not drastically, but like a noticeable amount. There's still people that use them, and like, there's times where the EMPs would be helpful, but just people running in cars isn't such a prevalent problem to me that I would want to carry the EMPs specifically for that. So I don't see myself going out of my way to get them, but they're a very good item. They're great at countering cars. They're great at flushing people out of cover. Any sort of fights you have happening in the black markets, the EMPs would probably be really good for that. Any sort of fights you have happening in the vaults, the EMPs would be good for that. But these things aren't such prevalent problems for me that it would outweigh how useful I feel double mobility is for me this season. So that's kind of where I stand on the EMPs. But if you're someone who enjoys them or you really hate dealing with cars, they could be coming to the game any day now, and that would be nice for you. As always, if you found this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, comment down below if you would want these to come back and if you're going to be taking advantage of them, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. 2 people remain. Probability of them being human, quite low. Oh shoot, one of them is. Minigun camping in a bush is crazy. He had so much faith in his bush though. Like he didn't shoot or anything as I was pulling up to him. As I'm driving right at his bush to destroy it. EMPs are in the game? Yes and no. There's a black market. At least the Masked Meadows one has a chance to have them on the wall in there from what I was told. But when you buy them, nothing happens. You can't get them. It still takes your gold though. So my guess is that they tried to add them and there's just some problem there. And then whenever they realize that, it'll get fixed. Or maybe it was supposed to be for next week. I don't know. But either way, they're like in the game, but they're not in the game at this point in time. Really want them? I don't even think I would carry EMPs at this point. I like having double mobility so much. And then for like all of chapter 5, or not all, but like for a lot of chapter 5, I was carrying them a lot, but it was like the cars were more of a problem then, and there just wasn't other mobility I wanted to carry as much. Were shockwaves in wrecked? I don't even remember. I think they were. But either way, like the nitro fists were like a do-it-all mobility item. Like it was good for traveling, it was good for getting out of bad situations, it was good for pushing. Whereas like right now, I like having shocks. It's obviously great for pushing, great for getting out of bad situations. But like I also really like having the drill because it's good for traveling and it's good for like resetting fall damage. Or like avoiding fall damage to the bat. And so I think for how this season plays, even if they added EMPs, I don't really think I would like go out of my way to intentionally use them very much. They'd probably be great for black markets, so like anybody camping there if you want to flush them out or vaults, but also at the same time if you hit the NPC it's bad. But either way, they're back but not back.